Hi there, welcome back to the Candaces channel. Today I'm going to do a video. I'm actually hoping to do two videos, but the first video I'm going to do, they're going to have to do with each other. They're about names, important names that are important to me. I tried to make this video a while back, but for some reason it wouldn't work, so things happen, right? So, anyway, the name I'm going to work on today is called Candace. The name is Candace, so that's my name. My channel is called the Copper Nurses channel. My name is Candace. So the name Candace, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, of course, wanting to find out about my name, right? So I'd look it up, and it would mean like light or pure, like incandescent, Candace. Um, so I also knew that the name Candace was in the Bible. I guess I found out, I'm not sure how old I was, but nobody much knows that it's in the Bible. And in the Bible, it's not used as a first name, but it's a name for it's a title of queens of a place in Kush. So they're these queens from a place called Meroe. Well, they say African queens, but I do believe that we are from America. So, so it's hard to find things totally because it's like you're looking for African things, you're looking for American things. But anyway, this queen is known as an African queen from Kush, right? So Kush is supposed to be in Africa, right? So, but we don't hear about these queens, the Candaces, right? We don't hear about them. And my family didn't even know. Like, I was hanging on. I'm not a little kid. I was hanging out with my family in July, and I said, the name Candace is in the Bible. And they're like, what? So I'm going to read you from Acts 8. I'm just going to read 27. Acts 8:27. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, a eunuch of great authority under the Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure. This guy had the charge, the eunuch had charge of all the treasure of the queen of Ethiopia, of this queen of the Ethiopians. And he had come to Jerusalem to worship. Okay, so in this passage he's reading it, and so people are saying that there was some confusion about, are these guys, is this guy Hebrew or is he Christian? So, well, you know how that goes, right? We're the Hebrew Israelites. We're them. So anyway, I get all frustrated, because Candace, so there's a guy named Candrop 432. He has a great channel, Candrop, and I think Candaces, the can in the Candrop, and the can is one of the cons and the cans and the royals. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so the Candaces of Meroe. And I didn't know it was of Meroe. I didn't know where they were from. And when you hear about them, they're famous queens. They weren't just one queen. So there's somebody on YouTube who made a video called "The Greatest Queen of the World Forgot," Queen Amanirenas. And she's one of the queens. She's one of the queens that they talk about. She's one of the Candaces. But I found a good article by a person named Joshua J. Mark, who wrote an article called "The Candaces of Meroe." And I'm going to show you a picture of one. It's not really a picture because, they don't really have pictures, but this is one of the Candaces. I'm hoping to get a really good shot of it. One of the Candaces. This is one of the Candaces of Meroe. And it's funny because I think she looks incredibly like, if you do a side profile of my own self. I don't know if I could do it. I did it the other day. It was great. So, I don't know. Can you see? So if you look at, I don't know if you can see it, so I'd have to, I don't know. Hopefully you can see it. But it looks just like her. If you look, it's the perfect side profile of her, and it looks just like me, I think. Anyway, more black queens need to be known. But anyway, I'm going to read, sorry, I keep saying anyway. You know how it is. If you haven't seen a video for a while, or made a video for a while, sometimes you can repeat yourself and stuff. So the Candaces are queens of the kingdom of Kush, who ruled from the city of Meroe from circa 284 CE, right? Before the Common Era. It used to be before Christ, but they've changed things, right? Until 314 CE, a number who ruled independently. And they say it is what is now Sudan. And it was by the Nile. And Meroe was this big place. Meroe was known for their ironworks and okay, so I'm gonna let you see the little timeline they have written from this guy. This article by Joshua Mark, published on March 19th, 2018. So here are some of the highlights about our Candaces here. There's a timeline. Royal women known as Candaces are influential or directly reign in Meroe. Shannock Duck Hetty, Candace of Meroe, leads armies into battle. Female monarchs known as the Candaces of Meroe frequently reign independently in Meroe. Okay, they have to repeat that a couple of times. They don't have anything else to say about it. Amon-Arenas Candace of Meroe reigns concludes favorable peace with Rome. And Amon-Shekheto reigns at this certain time. So, of course, they're in these are the list of them. It's not the easiest names to say, but they were the Candaces, and they were more than this. This was just 8 of them, right? So it tells you when they were reigning and stuff like that, and they're talking about them in the Bible. A Candace of the Ethiopians is mentioned in the Bible. It says, when Apostle Philip meets a eunuch of great authority under her reign and converts him to Christianity. Amazing, huh? Anyway, prior to 284 BCE, kings from Kush ruled from Meroe, but the king Ergamenes, also known as Arkamani or the first, instituted a number of reforms. Anyway, I'm not going to read it, but the queens of Meroe, they ruled by themselves. They were known as really harsh, great rulers. Not harsh, but I mean effective rulers. I mean, other people might call it harsh when you're effective, right? But okay, so Meroe, I don't want to just read from the article. I mean, it's totally interesting. There's one of the queens. I mean, there's just a lack of history, of course. The usual, oh, black people didn't do anything. Or this one guy went into the tombs and stole all this stuff, and then they said that white people didn't want to buy the art. Like, he raided the tombs and then wanted to go sell this stuff, and then the white people were like, well, we don't believe the black people could be that good, advanced at art and stuff like that. So they had a lot of art that they made, It was beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful. I'll show you a couple of the pictures. I don't know. So anyway, so Amon-Arenas was one of the greatest queens of all time. And she won favorable terms with the Augustus Caesars. They had a fight, but then they made up or whatever. But then she said she's going to keep the head of one of the statues that she took. And she put it under the temple of one of the places that they worship, and so that everybody had to walk over his head. So this is a real thing that actually happened. I mean, Julius Caesar was a pretty big Caesars. They were the Caesars. We were the Candaces. And so most of the ones you read is like Amon-Arenas. She's best known as the queen that won favorable terms. And there was a Meroitic war, and she fought with the War of Kush. But when I read onto this, it turns out the island is called Meroe. The Meroe is an island. Okay, I didn't know Meroe was an island. Okay, this guy Giuseppe Ferlini, he looted the treasures of Meroe, and then the people were saying, "Oh, we don't want to buy your stuff because we don't trust that the black people could really be that awesome," or you know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid. Of course, black people were the first ones. Let's see if we could see. Since it was mentioned in the Bible, like Palestine was really routinely depicted as being inhabited by white people. Okay. So since it was mentioned in the Bible, Egypt, like Palestine, was routinely depicted as having been inhabited by white people, by Europeans and Americans who had grown comfortable by worshiping a white Jesus and honoring a white Moses, but they never saw the need to extend this perceived whiteness all the way down to the continent of Africa. So they knew that the people had black art and all that black people are making the art, but not Jesus and Moses were white, right? But everybody else was black because we can't buy the art because it's from black people. But Jesus somehow was white and Moses was white, right? So that's like, right? Isn't that funny? So anyway, so the name Candace is a pretty big deal, you know. They said also, one part is very interesting. Ergomenes broke the power of the priests of Amun and initiated the further reforms to distance Meroe from Egyptian influence. Okay, so the queens, the Candaces, a lot of their names start with Aman, okay? Aman-Arenas, Aman-Ishaketo, Amanitori, Aman-Teteri, Amanik-Hatashan. I'm sorry if I totally... But there's a few of them, right? They were saying that these queens actually... It's totally awesome. That they... where is it? The Candaces of... Where is it? Where is the best part? Okay. The first queen to rule independently... who appears in battle dress leading her armies. Under her reign, Meroe explored the border, expanded its borders, and the economy boomed. She may have performed a religious political function along the lines of the position of God's wife of Amun in Egypt, the female counterpart of the high priest of Amun. Her adherence to Egyptian tradition is evidenced in her inscriptions, where she refers to herself as son of Ra, lord of the two lands, beloved of Ma'at, which is a common Egyptian designation. She is depicted with a young man, clearly a crown prince. I guess I'll show you the picture since I'm saying it, right? Alright, so there's just, it's a relief. I also want to show you another picture, is the crown. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Another picture, where are we? Oh, this, because I'm hoping it's going to trigger something in somebody's brain. This is the text, the Miriatic text, sorry. My page is kind of dirty. The Miriatic text, so I'm hoping that somebody's going to look at it and trigger some kind of thing out of your brains, right? Anyway, this is a great article, and hopefully we all know a little bit more about the Candaces of Meroe. Alright, so I want to say, you know, I'm thank you for everybody watching, everybody that's subscribing, everybody that's liking. I haven't been getting many likes because I think they have my thing stuck. It's kind of weird, but that's okay. You know, I know people are watching and it's totally awesome. So peace and wholeness to our group, our tribe, our, you know, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. The island of Meroe. Remember the island of Dr. Moreau? I'm hoping if I say these things, people are going to, like, add stuff. And because usually when I say a video, people will, Island of Dr. Moreau is one of my favorite movies, okay? The Kushites, they were known for a lot of stuff. So, and I think we're going to find out more stuff. It's an island. It's not a place. You wouldn't think it was an island. But now, the island of Dr. Moreau, that all clicks. Anyway, the Candaces of Meroe, beautiful African or copper-colored queens, which would be American, right? We love you. Thanks, everybody. Peace and wholeness. Out. See ya.